Hey guys, it's David, and this is for Module K4, Knowing the People. And this is sort of one of those things, it's kind of a mindset when you're trying to get to know people in the business, trying to meet them, create relationships with them, get to know them, gain their trust, gain their respect, make contact with them. A lot of you people, especially that have spent some time in the business, especially in New York and Los Angeles, where it seems more difficult to get to know people or to get cast in things. I don't actually agree with that. I think it's just the level of patience is different in those towns, because there are a lot of people out there telling you that if you want to create relationships, you need to do these things. Because so many people show up and they don't really know what to do. They didn't grow up going to theater, doing theater. They didn't go to, art schools or performance schools, Juilliard, Yale, wherever. So they kind of entered acting maybe a little later in their lives, or it wasn't something they always knew they wanted to do, so they weren't always doing it, so they don't have those natural connections. And you're thinking, well, I didn't start out that way. I don't have a history of that. So I need to do this. I need to, do the marketing thing. But I don't know why people think they have to do that. All they need to do is just start doing what people who have been doing it for a long time did for themselves. So just because you're starting out and there are people with a lot more experience than you who have been to school for it, who have been doing plays since they were kids or what have you, and you're thinking, well, I can't compete with them. I'm never going to be able to get called in because nobody knows who I am. And so to get known, I'm going to send out postcards and letters and headshots and cover letters, et cetera, instead of just saying, all right, well, I didn't start out early like they did, so I'll start out now and do all the things that those people did. Because most of these people you're talking about, they've made a life of acting, okay? And they have relationships in the business because they've been in the business for a while. So I'm not sure why people think that because they're just starting out in the business, they ought to have relationships or, get auditions and try to get known artificially through these marketing means. Because frankly, if you take it seriously, like these people that have been at it for their whole lives, because that's exactly what they knew exactly what they wanted to do with their lives. If you behaved more like them, you would probably get the results that they get, but it's going to take a little while. You just have to be patient and trust that this is a profession that they don't hand out acting roles for the people with the nicest headshots or the people with the best cover letters. They hand out acting roles to people that have proven themselves. Whether somebody saw you at a play or if you're a singer or a musician or whatever, they are going to look at people who are doing it, okay? They don't want to get a letter from somebody that says, come, I want an audition, because they're going to look and say, well, why? What are you doing for your career other than sending out marketing materials? What are you really doing? Okay, so if you want to be an actor, then be an actor. Don't be a marketer. Be an actor. Because if you take your time and you work at it and you show promise, and even if you don't show promise right away, then just work harder, put more time into it. That's exactly what I did. I started out really rough and everything was planned and just not good. And I just kept working at it and went through the thoughts of quitting over and over and over. And I just kept doing it. And then eventually my skills caught up to my desires and I was able to make a few relationships. And then I was ready to start auditioning, but I never had to really do any of the marketing. I did some of the marketing, but it had no effect whatsoever. Thank God, because if I had been in front of some of these people early on, they would have just been like, yeah, thanks for coming in.